Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Ectomorph, the perfect nervous system. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Devyank, the divine design of nature, with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Devyank is the reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightenment, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Let's start with germination of three germ layers from which ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm arise, and then development of the three types of human bodies. Ectomorph, mesophorm, as well as endomorph. Now, let's start the journey. Fertilization takes place between ovum and sperm to form zygote, and then further it divides into 2 cells, 4 cells, 8 cells, 16, 32, and then blastocyte, and finally come to the stage of this picture you can see down, which is 3 germinal layers. Amniotic fluid on top, then you have ectoderm, then you have mesoderm, and then you have endoderm. These 3 layers are the main layers from which human body is further developed and matured. There are 3 different types of body types we know of. One is called ectomorph, another is called mesophorm, morph, another is endomorph. Now, ectomorph primarily means that this particular system centers around ectoderm. That means ectoderm leads to the formation of skin and nervous system. The type which is ectomorph, I presume that nervous system is perfect in them and they primarily focus on nervous system functions. They could be intellectuals much more than others, and their way of life could be like Sattvic of Ayurveda, to be intellectual by and large. Mesophorm, which primarily developed from mesoderm layer, from which muscles and skeleton is developed. Their predominance could be more on muscle formation rather than nervous system or the internal organs. And these people by and large could be called muscular people, masculine in nature, and technically speaking called Rajasic consciousness. If ectoform is Sattvic, this could be Rajasic. Endomorph are the one which develop from endoderm layers of the triangular layers, and in this internal organs are developed much more than you will see in other 2 types. Okay, and their concentration could be more on developing other structures and could be, maybe, related to tamasic consciousness by and large. Anyway, there is no divide and rule in my opinion between ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, and ectomorph, mesomorph or endomorph. Every individual by and large has a combination of all the 3. The one they try to focus to actions development could become the driving force at a later date. As I said, ectomorph people, if they try to concentrate on developing nervous system, they could be much more intellectual, intuitive over a period because they're utilizing 100 billion neuron cells of the nervous system and making 20,000 per neurons the memory cells, and their focus could be on intellectual pursuit, academicians, professionals. And instead of people with muscles who want to develop the body to be more like administrators in the army, forces and other way, which maintain law and order. Endomorph might be concentrating on the other kind of activities which do not need too much of intellectual pursuit or too much of administrative work. They could be like a business people or someone who can do things otherwise. But all of them can easily change from one to other things. That potential is very much there in every human being. In other words, we say through Karma Yoga, through Jnana Yoga, we could develop the kind of personality which we want over a period. For example, in my case, I can definitely say structurally I look like the first one, ectomorph. And since I have concentrated on academics from school, college, university till today, I think I resemble this particular personality of sattvic consciousness much more than other two in physical looks, in the kind of bone structure I have, in the kind of muscles I have, in the kind of structure I have. So I can, from my experience, I can say I fit into ectomorph, maybe because I have worked over it, and I'm sure tomorrow I decide I want to make muscles, go to gym and take that kind of food, I could develop muscles again. And if I want to develop something, internal organs, also I can do it. But as of today, I'm quite happy with the ectomorph personality. It gives me an edge in a particular field, which I have worked for like 60 years. I would rather stay put with that. That is also one of the reasons why I wanted to break this particular thing. We have the choice at any stage to develop the kind of system we want. There's no hard and fast rules. And Akhand Yoga is primarily designed to develop on things which are necessary or which we are capable of doing. Now, the perfect human skeleton, and I know all the three basically have the same structure. Here you can see from top to soles. You can divide into 4 equal parts of 25 head to heart 25%, heart to tailbone 25%, tailbone to the knees 25%, knee to the soles another 25%. This particular structure is there in everybody. On the other side, you can see from soles to the navel, it could be 61.8034%, and navel to head 38.1. This is the ideal structure as far as Deviant ratio is concerned. And this is definitely taken out of my own life. My height and sitting height and standing height is equal, as you can see in this particular picture. And also know soles to navel is 61.80 and navel to head is that. So this picture is nothing but my own picture, my own height and different stages is what I presented to show. This is nature designed, and I fit into ectomorph personality, and the skeleton also is that. Okay, good. Now, talking of the nervous system, so I definitely, since I have focused only on ectomorph personality, so my focus is more into the nervous system. From my concentration into the nervous system of spiritual sciences, by and large, have shown it to me that I've been able to recognize deficiencies in the kind of knowledge which we have from school, college, to the university, to research, to all the journals throughout the world as and today. And in this particular thing, I can say medical science, there are 8 loops. According to Divyank, there should be 10, and I have shown that. And also shown that the posterior part is sensory in nature, front is motor. Since there are 3 parts of the sensory system, there should be 2 lobes for motor also. So front motor plus insular cortex make tissue 2 into 3. So my ectomorph personality, the development of the nervous system has helped me to conceive things in a much better way. I've utilized it to be in tune with universal consciousness, as you can see right on that. 3 outer layers of neocortex are the antenna to Akash Kosh. By developing, focusing more on that has helped me to down this information. I think this is also another proof. If you are an ectomorph personality, you are more likely to develop intellectual pursuit by developing the nervous system, Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, and make optimum use of nervous system and create much better memory by and large. I think my life is an example of that. Second thing, to prove that insular cortex is in the center, is the ninth and 10th lobe. I have shown reflection of this is also found in spinal cord. It's just to prove which I don't think anybody has actually even looked at that. Cervical spinal cord, those segments do not have lateral horns. As a result, autonomic nervous system does not arise from that. Whereas thoracic 12, two lumbar, L1, L2, have a third, a lateral, horns from which sympathetic system arises. Then you have sacral S2, S3, S4 also having lateral horns from which sacral parasympathetic system arises. So this is more than enough proof to show if you are ectomorph, you should be in a position to conceive these kind of things much better and prove that you really fit into the particular category. So I'm sure now this example of revealing something which has not been seen something, Divyank is one of them, is also being revealed for the first time in the history of mankind. But knowing which everything else is fully known, this is what the whole objective of Akhand Vidyashram and these videos are all about. So, talking of ectomorph personality or consciousness, and I'm showing I fit into that. As a result of developing that, I have been able to do this. Now let's take it to now. Spinal cord, this brain has got 10 lobes. Similarly, spinal cord also has 10 rex lamellae. As you can see, I have given the gray matter, that spinal cord cross section in the middle, which shows the gray matter and white matter. Now down you can see on the left side rex laminae, there are 10, and also the primary nuclei in gray matter of the spinal cord, which also has 3 posterior, which represent sensory, 2 anterior, motor, and lateral, which could relate to the lateral horn and intermediates. So I think that balance also is very, very interesting. Okay, how nature designs everything in a very systematic way. And because of this, maybe ectomorph kind of development, focus only on that rather than mesophorm or endoform has helped me to do this thing better. Now, you can also see the posterior horn and anterior horn, and lateral horn you can see. The posterior is sensory, central is autonomic, and anterior is motor in that. So that also shows if you are ectomorph, you can do these things much better. But unless until you're naturally inclined towards that and you work through that, it may or may not be that easy. But since I have been focused on that from my young days, I think I've been able to do better. Now, to explain things even better intellectually, reveal something interesting, how Divyank actually has an important role in nervous system. You can see on the left side, central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord and the nerves arising from that, and also you can see the vertebral column. Now on the right side, you can see the skeleton part. What is interesting in this is head and face has got 22 bones which protect the brain, which is actually highly creative, divine design to think rationally. But out of this 22 bones, 21 are fixed. That means brain expects everything to be fixed and 21. And it's the 22nd part, this according to Brahmank, which gives you the expression. So mandible, which is flexible, is the one which helps in giving expression to our own thoughts. I think that also makes a lot of sense as the intellectual part. Then you have 7 cervical vertebrae, and from which 16 cervical spinal nerves arise. Normally there are two, but here is more. What happened to the 7/8 cervical vertebrae, which was converted into hyoid bone? But nerves remain 8 pairs only. That's also something which other people have not highlighted, but I'm able to highlight is basically maybe I'm more focused on ectomorph predominance. Then you have 12 thoracic vertebrae and 24 thoracic spinal nerves, 5 lumbar vertebrae, 10 lumbar spinal nerves, 5 sacral vertebrae and 10 sacral nerves, and then coccyx has 4 fused bones, that means it's equal to 1, and there are only 2 small nerves from coccyx which arise and supply, and that is with Muladhara chakra, a ganglion import. Now let's go to another picture of human skeleton and show how beautiful is the skeleton itself designed with Deviank ratio. This is also being revealed for the, and I don't think anyone around the world in the history of human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry have been able to sum up things with evidence from the perfect body the way it is being done here. Now, the core axial skeleton has got 22 bones, which are head and face, skull, head 8, face 13 plus 1, 14, fixed bone 11, 21, I have already explained. Now, added to the event are the vertebral column, which has got 30 bones. What are they? 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacrum, and 1 fused bone of coccyx. That makes it 30. Then chest cage, which is supported around, is made of 25 parts. That means there are 20 pairs of ribs. That makes it 24, plus sternum in the center, make it 25. And the total number of bones in core axial skeleton are 22 plus 30 plus 25 equivalent to 77 bones. So center, as you can see in the picture, has got 77 bones. Now this is supported by extremities, upper extremities and lower extremities. Now let's see how many bones are there in upper extremities. There are 64 bones, 32 on each side. And lower extremities have got 62 bones, that means 31 on either side. Total peripheral bones are 64 plus 62 equivalent to 126 bones. Now see the ratio. 126 divided by 77 is equal to 1.636363, which is approximately closest to 1.618034. Is it a coincidence or divine design to prove okay, this is nature design? And if you want to be nature design, let there be predominance for ectoderm to ectomorph personality, concentrate on the central nervous system and develop it further through contemplative activities we call tapasya, are 10 stages of Akhand Yoga to develop the nervous system so well that you could be in tune. That's what I've tried to show also. With the help of, I'm able to activate the 3 outer layers of neocortex and be in tune with universal consciousness and download the information from Akash Kosh. I have already shown that I can produce 8 Hertz frequency throughout the brain with eyes open, eyes closed, anywhere and everywhere. I think that also shows if you have ectomorph personality, you have more chances of developing it into this form if your focus is on that. From that point of view, I can definitely say this particular video try to highlight ectomorph personality can be developed into something to be in tune with nature. Now, having done that in a very simple, very precise way, this is what is possible, and I'm sure if I can do it, everybody else can do it. And I think let me end with this particular video with this, that we all are developed, designed, created, developed and matured almost the identical way with Deviank. Now it's up to us which type of personality, which type of consciousness we want to develop and be useful to self as well as the world as such. Since my concentration is on ectomorph personality, developing ectoderm layer, and then building up to this side has helped me to do this, and I'm sure anyone else wants to do can easily do it. So with that, I would say thank you very much for kind listening and kind encouraging. Thank you.